A nurse is someone that is, I like to say that it's a calling, it's a vocation in the sense that it's a calling.
A lot of things involved in being a nurse. You have to use your critical thinking. You have to know how to multitask. Time management.
A typical shift is going in, printing out my to-do list of all the patients I need to see and what I need to do for them, all the wound care, for staple removal. It takes a strong stomach to do wound care. It's not for everybody. It really isn't.
As a nurse, I got to care of the patients, to be a patient advocate. Just listening to them is a big deal because, sometimes you think they're angry or something, but it's just venting out their frustration. It helps a lot.
If you're doing it because you feel like you can make a lot of money at it, but you don't have a real interest in caring for people, that's probably not a good fit.
These past 2 years, it is what I've expected, but I have learned pretty much every day something new. So, regardless of if you've been a nurse for so long or just for so little, I think every day is a learning experience.
Being here for so many years, I still learn every day. I see things that I haven't really learned inside the classroom.
From the time I was little, I just said I'm going to be a nurse someday. I don't know why I thought that, but I've always known that I was going to be a nurse.
I actually got into nursing fairly young. While I was in high school, I started doing an ROP program down in Orange County and started the LVN program with them down there. And I did that because prior to that, when I was 13, I got an illness from taking the flu shot. But that inspired me to become a nurse. I started, just observing how the nurses were with their patients, and it just encouraged me to go on.
My grandpa died of prostate cancer, so we had really good home care nurses that would come to see him, and I seen the care that they would give to him during a difficult time for not only my grandpa but our family. And they weren't just supportive of my grandpa, but they were supportive of us as well. And so it made me want to be a nurse.
The thing about it is it's a lot of work. It's super intense. The nursing school is actually intense, but there are so many different avenues and options when you are a nurse. You don't have to work at the hospital. You can work doctor's offices, you can do care, coordination. There's so many things you can do, but it's just such a rewarding career.
What I like about my profession is I'm able to work with people, whether it's my coworkers or patients. I love patient care. I love I do love to be on the floor actually taking care of like the vital signs, doing injections, stuff like that, but I also like to help them in another aspect to be able to, troubleshoot any workflows. So I like to take part of that too. So
The interaction with the patients, building a relationship with them. Now that I'm in the infusion suite, I think it's watching our patients being diagnosed with cancer, seeing the fear that they have, and you feel almost helpless. You're helping them and it's rewarding in a way because you're there for them and you're trying to give them like a positive outlook on a situation that's scary, but you still feel helpless because there's nothing you can do to take that away from them other than try to lighten it a little bit.
With my role as assistant nurse manager, I do a lot of staff training and staff development, and I really enjoy that part of my job. And then, of course, talking to patients and their families and getting their feedback. It's important.
I've been a nurse for 15 years and I've worked at extended care for 22. I like taking care of patients and I like to teach staff to be the best versions of themselves.
this kind of a society now, everything should be very fast. And, you know, the nurse, a good nurse has a lot on her mind.
Working night shift is hard. When we work during the night, it's just us, you know, less people.
You have very young people who have just learned their trade, and they come out and they're very eager, and there's a lot to learn, and really devastating results if there's mistakes.
Sometimes you have the days where you just feel like you're not doing your best and you feel like you're failing your patients. Those are few and far between. Sometimes there's a lot of patients to see, sometimes not. You know, you want to give everybody the same amount of time and, you know, quality care as the next patient.
Any tips to any new nurse coming on, I would pretty much just say, you know what you've got to do. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We've all been there once, and we'll pretty much all be there for you. Every day you're going to learn something new, and even though sometimes your days might be super rough and you might not think you're cut out for this job, you actually are. So just continue and do what you're doing.
Just being able to get that foundational schooling down, learning everything, and then just specialize. What is it that you're interested in? I know as nurses you're carrying that caring aspect for people, and going into the field is the best thing you can ever do.
Don't be afraid to dive in and talk to your patients to find out what they need, and learn every day. You're always learning. I'm still learning every day.